All right, so 4 years ago, Christine Figgener and her team, her research team, found a male olive Ridley sea turtle in an in-water research trip in Costa Rica. This sea turtle later starred in the team's viral YouTube video, receiving nearly 65 million views. The video was then later shared to numerous social media platforms and later promoted by businesses for their own personal gain. I'm confident at least two of us in the room has maybe seen the video. Well, if that description isn't ringing a bell, maybe this will. The sea turtle had a 4-inch long plastic straw lodged in his nostril. The 8-minute video entailed the graphic content of the struggle to remove the straw from the turtle and place him safely back into the waters. So what's the message here? Well, I personally think that the message of that video speaks louder than any number of facts, proven details, or cited research of the peril of the product of plastic straws that they impose on our world each day. So this evening I will be talking to you about the harmful product of plastic straws and why in turn we should be using or we should be converting to the use of paper straws. I will be highlighting again plastic straws and their impact, companies taking a stand against the use of plastic straws, and then companies in turn offering alternatives for those who do use plastic straws, and how as individuals we can get involved. So to begin, first, what is the big deal with plastic straws? Well, according to Melissa Keene of Twigs and Twirls online party supply boutique, and more importantly, paper straw manufacturer, only about 1% of plastic straws are actually recycled, which is a huge deal considering A, they take hundreds of years to decompose, which means once they reach our landfills or, and more commonly, our marine habitats, because they don't decompose, they slowly break down into smaller and smaller fragments, eventually known as microplastics. Deborah Levetov from The Death of Plastic Straws, National Geographic highlights that these microplastics are then mistakenly thought to be food by marine animals. Secondly, 30 million plastic straws are used each day, putting plastic straws in the top 10 of the plastic marine waste by the Ocean Conservancy. Denise Hardesty and Chris Wilcox, Australian marine biologists, estimate there are about 7.5 million plastic straws polluting American beaches and leading to 8.3 billion plastic straws lining the world's beaches. There are about 8 trillion pieces of plastic entering the ocean each year, and while we could argue the other sources of this tragedy, I think we can't simply ignore the facts surrounding plastic straws simply because the numbers are so gravely, and as citizens we come into contact with plastic straws on a day-to-day basis, meaning that we can impact their change and how they impact our world on a day-to-day basis. It's time that we modify the future for what's best and what's up next in our world. Which is why next I would like to highlight high-profile companies, multinational corporations, and cities who have already begun to pave the way for this much needed change in response to the widespread concern of the pollution of plastic straws. Cities with passing and or pending bans include Miami Beach, Seattle, Vancouver, Malibu, and New York. Companies such as Alaskan Airlines, American Airlines, Starbucks, SeaWorld Entertainment, and Marriott, and many more have already made announcements of their switch from plastic straws, some being implemented into play this coming month, according to Sarah Gibbons of National Geographic. Major cities will have a change on the major companies. Think of it as this: as major cities change their area restrictions, it will then further impact cities' restrictions, and I see this will then be the catalyst for permanent change. But before we can get to this utopia of the no plastic straw world, we must first recognize why the use of plastic straws is as dramatic as it is, and it's simply because they are so affordable in bulk that companies really had no other option. But for all of these minuscule surface issues, there is a solution, and solutions in the works, such as companies who offer bulk expenses and prices for those companies who are ready to make the change from plastic straws over to paper straws. Finally, I would like to highlight how we as individuals can make a change in our own circle. We don't have to just count on the prolonged domino effect of major cities affecting major companies, but on top of that, we can start to create a change at a more personal level. Thanks to organizations like Lonely Whale, who sponsor For Australis Ocean, you can get involved at a more personal level. For Australis Ocean freely sends out downloadable starter kits, including posters and ads to share to your social media accounts, such as Instagram and Twitter. You can begin to get involved along with hashtags that have been trending, including hashtag #StopSucking. For Australis Ocean is a worldwide organization that is supported by over 1,060 groups worldwide. In fact, I myself have joined the motion for Australis Ocean #StopSucking for a free downloadable starter kit with only my email. To wrap everything up today, I want to remind all of us that once we decide to do something that's going to impact a change globally, it means that our efforts are never going to be in vain. And as long as they may seem and as pointless as they may seem, it is time to say no more sucking.